The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Delegate Han stood to deliver his report. 27 species from across the known universe waited, their many eyes and sensory organs fixed on the blue-scaled diplomat. Honored members, Han began, his voice clear in the vast space. Our deep space monitors have found strange signals from a planet called Earth. These signals show a new spacefaring species who call themselves humans. Council leader Kim tapped her long fingers against the smooth table. She had led the council for over 200 cycles and had seen many new species join the galactic community. All had followed predictable patterns of development, all except these humans, perhaps. "Tell us what troubles you, Delegate Han," she said. Han touched a control panel, and a holographic image of Earth appeared above the chamber floor. The blue-green planet spun slowly, clouds swirling across its surface. After 6 cycles of watching Earth, our findings worry us greatly. These humans do not behave like rational beings by any standard we know. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Council member Ju, a tall, thin being with grey skin, spoke up. "Define irrational, Delegate." "They purposely seek out danger," Han replied. "They jump from high places for fun. They consume substances that harm their bodies. They watch scary stories that trigger fear responses. For entertainment." The chamber erupted in shocked voices. Leader Kim called for order. "We must learn more before we decide how to approach these humans," she said. "I will send our best diplomat to make first contact." Senior Ambassador Park had made first contact with 12 species during his long career. None had prepared him for humans. His ship landed in a place called Geneva, and a group of humans waited to greet him. When they saw Park and his team exit the ship, the humans pulled their face muscles back to show their teeth. Park's security team tensed, ready to protect him. In every known species, showing teeth was a threat display, but the humans continued to approach with their teeth exposed. "Welcome to Earth," said one human, extending a hand. "I'm Director Min of the International Space Agency." Park had studied human customs and knew about this handshake ritual. Still, touching an unknown alien seemed risky. He carefully extended his upper limb to meet the humans. "Thank you for your welcome," Park said through his translator. "The Galactic Council sends greetings." The human delegation led Park's team into a building for talks. One human offered him a cup of dark liquid. "Would you like some coffee?" the human asked. Park's scanner quickly analyzed the drink and reported back through his neural link. "Contains caffeine, a neurotoxin." "You wish me to drink poison?" Park asked, trying to keep alarm from his voice. The human laughed, making sharp barking sounds while showing even more teeth. Park's security team moved closer, confused by this display. "Oh no," the human said after stopping the alarming sound. "Coffee isn't poison to us. We drink it every day. It helps us stay alert." Park made a note. Humans intentionally consume mild toxins for their stimulant effects, possible sign of addiction-seeking behavior. The meeting continued with more surprises. The humans spoke of their history, which included countless wars over resources, territory, and different beliefs about invisible deities. Yet they presented this violent past as simply how we learned to cooperate. During a break, Park watched through a window as humans outside the building ran in circles around a lake. "What are they running from?" he asked Director Min. "Nothing," Min replied. "They're jogging for exercise. It's healthy." "They run without purpose?" Park couldn't understand. On his world, one only ran when necessary. "It makes their hearts stronger," Min explained. Park made another note. "Humans simulate danger responses to strengthen their bodies, possibly evolved from a predator species." The final shock came when Director Min suggested activities for the next day. "We thought your delegation might enjoy experiencing some of our culture. Perhaps skydiving over the Alps? It's quite thrilling." Park's translator must have malfunctioned. He asked for clarification. "Skydiving," Min repeated. "We go up in an aircraft, then jump out with parachutes. You fall for about a minute before opening your chute. The view is amazing." Park stared at the human. "How you deliberately fall from the skies for enjoyment." "Absolutely. Nothing makes you feel more alive than a good rush of adrenaline." That evening, Park sent an urgent message to the council. His hands still trembled as he recorded it. "These humans actively seek out dangerous situations that any rational species would avoid. They consume toxins daily. They simulate death-defying experiences for pleasure. They expose their teeth as a greeting. Their young watch programs designed to frighten them. Most concerning, they seem completely unaware that this behavior is abnormal. Council Leader Kim called an emergency session after reading Park's report. The chamber was filled with uneasy whispers. It appears these humans evolved on what can only be described as a death world, Kim announced. Their strange behaviors must have developed as survival mechanisms in an extremely dangerous environment. Council member Ju suggested immediately closing off the sector containing Earth. If they enjoy danger so much, they might bring it to our peaceful worlds. But Research Director Lee disagreed. We should study them first. Such resilience could be valuable to understand. The Council voted to establish a secret observation program. Volunteers would monitor human behavior up close to determine if these crazy beings posed a true threat to galactic peace. As the session ended, Leader Kim added one final note. Until we understand these humans better, no one should accept their invitation to skydive. Whatever that is, it cannot possibly be safe. Research Director Lee stood before the holographic display, showing the Council members images of human activities that her team had collected. The aliens watched with a mixture of horror and fascination. As you can see, Lee said, pointing to a video of humans riding roller coasters. They create machines specifically designed to simulate deadly situations. These humans are screaming in terror, yet they paid money for this experience. Council Leader Kim shook her head in disbelief. And they do this voluntarily. Not only voluntarily, Lee replied, but they stand in long lines for the privilege. The Council had established a covert observation program after their troubling first contact with Earth. Researcher Moon had been chosen to lead the field team, disguised as human using advanced holographic technology. His mission: understand if humans were a threat or merely strange. Moon and his assistant researcher Du arrived on Earth in a hidden ship. They set up their base in a place called Seoul, chosen for its dense population that would make it easier to blend in. Remember, Moon told Du as they prepared for their first day among humans, we must act as they do. Eat their food, participate in their activities. Only then will we understand their madness. Their first stop was a place humans called a cafe. Inside, people sat drinking various forms of the stimulant beverage that Ambassador Park had reported. Moon ordered something called an Americano, while Do chose a triple espresso. This contains 3 times the standard dose of caffeine, Du whispered, scanning the dark liquid. Why would anyone want this? A human nearby overheard him. First, time trying coffee. You'll need it if you're planning to binge watch that new drama series tonight. Binge watch? Moon asked, seeing an opportunity to learn. Yeah, staying up all night to watch all 16 episodes at once, the human explained with a smile. It's worth the exhaustion tomorrow. After the human left, Du looked at Moon in shock. They deliberately deprive themselves of sleep. For entertainment? Moon made a note in his hidden recorder. Humans intentionally disrupt their biological functions for pleasure activities. Over the next weeks, the researchers observed more bewildering human behaviors. They visited a place called a Spicy Food Challenge restaurant, where humans competed to eat increasingly painful meals. Why are they crying? Du asked as they watched a human celebrate winning the challenge, tears streaming down his red face. According to my scan, the food contains capsaicin that causes actual pain signals, Moon replied. Yet the winner appears happy. Their research took them to a building called a gym, where humans lifted heavy objects repeatedly until their muscles failed. No species we know deliberately exhaust themselves this way, Moon noted, as they watched a human named Jin lift weights, while another human shouted encouragement. Just one more rep, push through the pain, the encourager yelled. Moon approached. Jin afterward, maintaining his human disguise. Why do you do this to yourself? Jin wiped sweat from his face. No pain, no gain, he said with a tired smile. How else would I get stronger? The most shocking discovery came when Moon and Du found a place called a haunted house attraction. Humans paid to walk through a dark building where other humans jumped out to frighten them. They're paying for fear, Du said as they watched. Humans exit the building, some laughing, some still looking scared. They could experience this for free by walking alone in dangerous areas, yet they create artificial environments for it. Moon decided to try the haunted house himself in the name of research. He emerged 20 minutes later, his holographic disguise flickering slightly from his elevated heart rate. Was it terrifying? Du asked. Yes, Moon admitted, but interesting. I felt more alert afterward, more alive. Du looked concerned. You're not going native, are you? That evening, Moon called an emergency meeting with Council Security Chief Song, who had arrived to check on their progress. We've found something disturbing, Moon explained. Humans have pets. Many species keep animals, Song replied. Not like this, Moon said, showing videos. They keep predators in their homes, animals with sharp teeth and claws. Look at this. Creature called a cat. It's clearly a killing machine, yet humans cuddle it. Song watched with widening eyes as a human let a cat sleep on her chest, near her vulnerable throat. This is insanity. There's more, Moon continued. Humans let. Large canines lick their faces. They talk to these animals as if they understand. They spend resources on toys and special foods for them. The evidence mounted with each passing day. Humans jumped from bridges with elastic cords tied to their ankles. They climbed frozen waterfalls. They rode boards down snow-covered mountains. They entered caves filled with unknown dangers. After 3 months of observation, Moon presented his findings to the full council remotely. Humans appear to seek out situations that trigger their fear responses, pain receptors and stress hormones, Moon explained. My theory is that their planet was so dangerous during their evolution that they developed these behaviors as training mechanisms. Are they a threat? Council Leader Kim asked the question everyone wanted answered. Moon hesitated. They're unpredictable, but I've also observed incredible creativity born from their strange relationship with danger. They solve problems differently than we do. Recommendation, Leader Kim pressed. Limited contact under controlled conditions, Moon replied, and I request to continue my research. I believe there's more to understand about these strange beings. The Council voted to establish a buffer zone around Earth's solar system. No species would make contact without approval. As the meeting ended, Council Member Ju asked one final question. Researcher Moon, have you gone skydiving yet? Moon's face changed slightly. Next week, he admitted. For research purposes, of course. The human ship HSS Venture drifted slowly through the outer reaches of the Rigel system. Its sleek design stood out against the backdrop of stars, the blue glow of its engines marking it as distinctly human technology. Captain Bay stood on the bridge, looking at the strange readings on his screen. Sir, we're picking up an artificial structure that doesn't match any Earth records, said Navigator Shin, pointing to a blinking dot on the display. Captain Bay smiled. Well, well, looks like we've found something interesting. Let's say hello. What the humans didn't know was that they had just discovered a secret Galactic Council monitoring station. The station had been placed there specifically to watch human expansion without being detected. That plan had now failed. Inside the station, alarm signals flashed as Officer Choi stared at his screen in horror. Commander, a human vessel is approaching. They've seen us. Commander O rushed to the control center. Impossible, this station has cloaking technology. Their scanners are more advanced than we thought, Choi explained. They're hailing us. The screen flickered to life, showing Captain Bay's friendly face. Greetings from Earth. We're surprised to find neighbors out here. We'd love to dock and share a meal if you're open to visitors. Commander O froze. According to Council protocols, no unauthorized contact with humans was permitted. Yet here they were, casually asking to come aboard as if they were old friends. What should we do? Choi whispered. Commander, O made a quick decision. Send a message to Council headquarters. Until we receive instructions, we'll respond, but delay. Them. The commander activated the communication system. Human vessel, we acknowledge your greeting. Please maintain your position while we prepare for potential contact. Captain Bay's smile widened. Wonderful. We have some excellent coffee and real barbecue from Earth. Have you ever tried barbecue? It's meat cooked slowly over fire. One of our best inventions, if you ask me. Officer Choi looked confused. They want to burn food and then eat it, and they think this will appeal to us. Meanwhile, on the council homeworld, Leader Kim called an emergency session. The chamber filled quickly as news spread of the human discovery. This is exactly what we feared, Security Chief Song announced. Their reckless exploration has compromised our observation post. Now they want to board the station with burned flesh and neurotoxins. Council member Ju stood up. We should send ships immediately. The humans must be contained before they spread their chaos further. Only researcher Moon, recently returned from Earth, disagreed. I believe there is a misunderstanding. Humans share food as a friendship ritual. They don't know their actions appear threatening. But Moon's voice was drowned out as the council voted to send security forces to intercept the human ship. Back at the monitoring station, Captain Bay was growing impatient. It's been 6 hours since our initial contact. Are they always this cautious? Lieutenant Kang shrugged. Different species, different protocols. Maybe they're shy. Let's try humor, Bay suggested. That usually breaks the ice. He opened the channel again. Hey friends, no rush, but our barbecue is getting cold. As we say on Earth, we don't bite. Unless you're a tasty sandwich. Inside the station, Commander O's translator struggled with the message. Did the human just threaten to eat us? Officer Choi ran another analysis. The word bite in their language refers to using teeth to tear flesh. And they mentioned something about us being tasty. Just then, 3 council security vessels dropped out of faster-than-light travel nearby, their weapon systems active. Human vessel, came the stern voice of Fleet Commander Jun. You are ordered to power down your engines and prepare for boarding. Any resistance will be met with appropriate force. On the Venture, confusion spread across the bridge. What did we do wrong? Captain Bay wondered aloud. We just offered them dinner. Lieutenant Kang quickly assessed the situation. Sir, those ships are in attack formation. I think our friendly approach has been misinterpreted. Captain Bay tried again. There seems to be a misunderstanding. We come in peace. We're just explorers. Explorers don't cross established boundaries. Fleet Commander Jun replied coldly. Your kind's reckless behavior endangers galactic stability. Boundaries? We weren't informed of any restricted areas, Bay protested. But the council ships moved closer. Weapons locked on the Venture. On Earth, an emergency meeting was called when communications from the Venture were cut off. The human leaders were baffled by the sudden hostility from a galactic community they had barely begun to know. Dr. John, Earth's leading xenopsychologist, reviewed the final transmissions from Captain Bay. I think I understand what happened, she told the assembled officials. They misinterpreted everything. Our humor, our offers of food, our curiosity. What we see as friendly, they perceive as dangerous. Back on the council homeworld, researcher Moon desperately tried to reach Leader Kim. The humans don't understand why they're being treated as threats, he explained. Their natural response to confusion is to make jokes and offer food. These are peace signals, not threats. Then why do all their peace signals involve potentially dangerous activities? Leader Kim asked. Sharing neurotoxic drinks? Burned animal flesh? Making those barking sounds they call laughter? Because they evolved differently, Moon insisted. What frightens us energizes them. But it was too late. The Council had already imposed trade restrictions on Earth and established a security perimeter around human space. Any human ships venturing beyond their solar system would be turned back. Lieutenant Kang, who had been secretly contacted by researcher Moon before communications were cut, finally understood the depth of the cultural gap. She managed to send one final message to Earth before the Venture was escorted back to the solar system. They're not hostile, her message read. They're terrified of us. What we consider normal, they see as proof of insanity. We need to change our approach completely if we ever hope to join the galactic community. The message from Lieutenant Kang reached Earth just as Dr. John was preparing to depart for the Galactic Council. As Earth's top expert in alien psychology, she had been chosen to try to fix the growing problem between humans and the Council. So they think we're all crazy, Dr. John said, reading the message again. She looked up at General Yu, who had brought her the information. Because we drink coffee and laugh, General Yu nodded grimly. Apparently our normal behavior seems like dangerous insanity to them. The Council has quarantined our entire solar system. No ships in or out. Dr. Jian thought for a moment. I need to meet them face to face. They need to see that we can be reasonable. If you can get a meeting, General Yu replied, they're not answering our calls. Through diplomatic channels that were still barely open, Earth requested a formal hearing before the Council. After 3 tense days, permission was granted for a single human representative to appear. Dr. John's ship approached the Council station with caution. She had studied all available information about the Council species. She knew that smiling showed teeth, which scared them. Laughter sounded threatening to their ears. Even normal human excitement could seem like aggressive behavior. Remember, she told herself as the airlock opened, stay calm, move slowly, no jokes. The Council chamber was massive, with representatives from 27 species seated in rising tiers around a central platform. Dr. Jeon walked to the platform, keeping her face neutral and her hands visible. Greetings, honored Council, she said softly. I thank you for seeing me. Council Leader Kim studied the human carefully. Dr. John, you may present Earth's case, but be warned. Your species' reputation for unpredictable behavior precedes you. Dr. John had prepared her speech carefully. She explained that humans came from a world with many dangers, which had shaped their evolution. Their seemingly strange behaviors were adaptations that had helped them survive. What appears as recklessness, to you is simply our way of testing limits and building resilience, she explained. When we laugh, it's not aggression, but a way to release tension and build social bonds. Some council members seemed to listen with interest, others remained visibly uncomfortable in her presence. Dr. John was just beginning to feel hopeful when an alarm blared through the chamber. Council Security Chief Song rushed in. Emergency situation. A mining colony on Proxima 4 reports critical reactor failure. The whole facility could explode within hours. The chamber erupted in concerned voices. Leader Kim called for order. How many people are at the colony? She asked. 300 miners from various council species, Chief Song replied, but radiation levels are already beyond safe limits for evacuation teams. Dr. John stepped forward. My ship can help. Humans have better radiation tolerance than many species, and our ships have advanced shielding. The council members stared at her in shock. You would willingly go into a radiation zone? Council member Ju asked. That proves our point about human recklessness. No, Dr. Jeon countered. It proves we calculate risks differently. The potential to save lives outweighs the danger to ourselves. Leader Kim looked suspicious. What would humans want in return for this assistance? Dr. John shook her head. Nothing. Helping others in danger is something humans do. It's not a transaction. This concept seemed to confuse the council even more. They spoke among themselves in urgent whispers while Dr. John waited. Meanwhile, the situation at Proxima 4 was growing. Worse, the reactor's containment systems were failing faster than predicted. The colony's distress signal included desperate pleas for help. Finally, Leader Kim spoke. We will allow your ship to attempt rescue, Dr. John, but this may be further evidence of your species' disturbing tendencies. Dr. John didn't waste time arguing. She contacted her ship and ordered it to set course for Proxima 4 immediately and send a message to Earth. We need more ships with radiation shielding. By the time Dr. John's ship reached the mining colony, 3 more human vessels had arrived from Earth. They had ignored the Council's quarantine to respond to the emergency. The scene at Proxima 4 was chaotic. The mining facility's main reactor was emitting dangerous levels of radiation. The miners, many already showing signs of radiation sickness, were huddled in sealed chambers that wouldn't protect them much longer. Captain Gill of the rescue fleet addressed the human crews. Radiation levels are higher than we expected. Our suits will only give us about 30 minutes of safe exposure. We need to work fast. The human teams moved into the facility while Council observers watched from a safe distance. The observers couldn't understand why these humans would risk their lives for strangers of different species. Inside the facility, the humans worked methodically despite the danger. They organized the miners into groups and began evacuation procedures. When one section's path became blocked by debris, Engineer Nam found another route, even though it meant higher radiation exposure. "Are you sure about this?" Captain Gill asked when Nam volunteered to hold a failing door open so others could pass. "Someone has to do it," Nam replied simply. "I still have 10 minutes left on my exposure meter." From the observation ship, researcher Moon watched with growing understanding. He turned to Council Member Ju beside him. "Do you see now?" Moon asked. "What looks like craziness to us is actually a different kind of rational thinking. They've evolved to help each other survive, even at personal risk." Member Ju watched as the humans continued their rescue efforts, their movements becoming slower as radiation exposure increased. Yet, they didn't stop. "Perhaps," Ju admitted reluctantly, "there is something we don't understand about these humans after all." By the time the reactor finally went critical, all 300 miners had been evacuated to safety. 12 humans required treatment for radiation exposure, but there were no deaths. As Dr. John's ship returned to the Council station, a message waited for her. The Council requested her presence, not for a hearing, but for a different kind of meeting. Dr. John entered the Council chamber with slow, careful steps. Unlike her first appearance, this time the room was not filled with tension. Instead, a strange quiet hung in the air. The representatives of 27 advanced species watched her with what she now recognized as their version of deep thought. Council Leader Kim spoke first. "Dr. John, we have reviewed the events at Proxima 4. Your people saved 300 lives at risk to yourselves." "It's what humans do," Dr. John replied simply. "Yes," Leader Kim said, "we are beginning to understand that. Researcher Moon has prepared a special report about humans that he wishes to present." Researcher Moon stepped forward. After his time on Earth and witnessing the rescue mission, he had gained unique insight into human behavior. The holographic display activated, showing images of Earth, its violent storms, dangerous predators, extreme temperatures, and natural disasters. "Honored Council members," Moon began, "humans evolved on a planet that tried to kill them every day. Their bodies adapted with remarkable healing abilities. Their minds adapted by turning fear into curiosity. The display showed humans climbing mountains, diving into oceans, exploring caves, and venturing into space. What appears as recklessness is actually their greatest strength," Moon continued. "They don't freeze in dangerous situations. They think clearly and find solutions when other species would panic." Council Member Ju interrupted. "But they seek out danger for no reason. They skydive and drink neurotoxins for pleasure," Moon nodded. "Yes, because these activities train their responses to real emergencies. They call it staying sharp. When real danger comes, humans are ready." The display changed to show footage from the mining colony rescue, humans working calmly in radiation levels that would cause most species to flee. "They take risks not because they don't understand danger," Moon explained, "but because they understand it better than we do. They know exactly what they're doing." Dr. John watched as the council members whispered among themselves. She could see the shift in their body language, from fear to cautious interest. Leader Kim turned to her. "Dr. John, if what researcher Moon says is true, then humans might serve a valuable function in our galactic community. But we need assurance that your adaptations won't disrupt our peaceful society." Dr. John had prepared for this moment. "We propose a cultural exchange program. Selected humans would learn your customs and serve as bridges between our cultures. In return, council representatives would visit Earth to better understand us." "Visit Earth?" gasped Council Member Ju. "That death world?" "With proper guides and safety measures," Dr. Jeon assured him. "You might even enjoy some of our milder activities." Before the council could respond, another emergency signal interrupted the meeting. A council exploration vessel was stranded in the dangerous Vela pulsar field. Its engines had failed, and radiation from the pulsar was slowly breaking down its shields. "No council rescue ship can reach them in time," Security Chief Song reported grimly. All eyes turned to Dr. John. "How quickly can human ships respond?" Leader Kim asked, the question itself a monumental shift in attitude. "I'll contact Earth immediately," Dr. John replied. Within hours, 2 human ships specially designed for high radiation environments were headed toward the pulsar field. Captain Sim of the rescue vessel Daedalus received the mission briefing from Dr. John herself. "This is our chance to prove ourselves to the Council," she told him. "Show them that our crazy human traits can benefit everyone." The rescue mission was more dangerous than Proxima 4. The pulsar's radiation was intense enough to degrade even the advanced shielding on human ships. As they approached the stranded vessel, Captain Sim made a decision that horrified the Council observers watching remotely. "We'll need to power down our shields for 30 seconds to establish a stable tow link," he told his crew. "That means 30 seconds of extreme radiation exposure." His engineer, Officer Jin, nodded calmly. "The medical team has radiation treatment, ready for when we return." The Council observers couldn't believe what they were hearing. These humans were knowingly exposing themselves to harmful radiation as if it were merely an inconvenience. The rescue succeeded. The Council ship and its crew returned safely. Though all the humans required treatment for radiation exposure, none complained about their injuries. 1 month later, Dr. John stood again in the Council chamber. This time she was there for a historic moment. After careful consideration, Leader Kim announced, "The Galactic Council has created a new classification. For humans, Adaptive Crisis Specialists. Earth is hereby invited to join the Council with special status." The chamber, once filled with fear of humans, now buzzed with excited conversation. Several Council members had already signed up for the cultural exchange program, curious about these strange beings who turned danger into opportunity. "In honor of this new alliance," Leader Kim continued, "I will participate in a human custom." An aide brought forward a small cup of a steaming liquid. Dr. John recognized it immediately. A very mild cup of tea, not coffee, but still a huge step for the Council leader. Leader. Kim lifted the cup carefully. "To our new allies," she said, taking a tiny sip. The Council members watched in amazement as their leader tried the human drink without ill effect. Some even applauded in their species' various ways. Dr. John smiled, a small, closed-mouth smile, out of respect for her new allies' sensibilities. "This is just the beginning," she said. "Humans have much to learn from the Council's wisdom and experience, and perhaps our unique perspective on risk and danger will help the galaxy face whatever challenges lie ahead." As the ceremony ended, Researcher Moon approached Dr. John quietly. "I have a confession," he said. "During my time on Earth, I tried skydiving." Dr. John raised an eyebrow. "And?" "It was terrifying," Moon admitted. "But afterward I understood humans better. You don't just tolerate fear, you transform it into something else entirely." "Yes," Dr. John agreed. "We call that living fully." Outside the Council chamber, the stars shone on a galaxy now forever changed by the strange, crazy beings from Earth, who had shown that sometimes the most rational response to danger was to face it head-on.